Oh, Emmerdale fans, get ready to dive deep into the churning waters of guilt, secrets, and family drama. If you thought things were settling down in the Dales, think again. John Sugden, our seemingly steadfast ex-soldier, is spiraling, and it's hitting him harder than a surprise Dingle pub brawl. The haunting truth: Nate Robinson's ghost in the lake. Remember last September? It feels like ages ago, but for John it's probably playing on an endless loop in his mind. In a desperate, misguided attempt to be the hero, John accidentally took Nate Robinson's life, and then, in a moment of sheer panic, he did the unthinkable. He dumped Nate's body in a nearby lake, hoping it would vanish forever. But secrets, especially the watery kind, have a way of surfacing. Nate's body was recently recovered, and suddenly the sleepy village of Emmerdale was rocked by a full-blown murder investigation. And who's caught in the crosshairs? None other than Nate's heartbroken mom, Tracy. Why Tracy? Because a certain phone, strategically planted by our very own guilt-ridden John, turned up at her house. The poor woman was arrested, her world crumbling around her, while John watched from the sidelines, seemingly in the clear. John's conscience. A battle he can't win. But in the clear is a relative term when your conscience is a battlefield. While the police might not be looking his way, John's inner turmoil is reaching a fever pitch. We've seen the signs, haven't we? The haunted eyes, the faraway stares, and then, in last night's episode, June 16th, the undeniable proof. His nightmares are getting worse, and he's clearly crying out for help. The morning after, Erin's growing concern. The episode kicked off with a scene that tugged at our heartstrings. Erin Dingle, ever the perceptive one, found John at Cafe Main Street. He'd missed him at home that morning, and a quick glance told him something was off. "Why are you up so early?" Erin asked, his brow furrowed with concern. John, trying to play it cool, mumbled something about a walk and needing some fresh air because he couldn't sleep. But Erin, being Erin, wasn't born yesterday. He put two and two together. Still having nightmares, he pressed, his voice soft but insistent. John's reluctant nod confirmed Erin's suspicions. Unaware of the horrific truth behind John's tormented sleep, Erin attributed the nightmares to John's demanding work schedule and late nights. To soothe his worried husband, John promised to be home early that night, even suggesting a Chinese takeaway together. A small gesture, but a poignant one, highlighting the chasm between John's outward facade and his inner torment. A doctor's eye. Manpreet Sharma sees through the veil. Later at the surgery, it was Manpreet Sharma's turn to notice John's exhaustion. He was caught mid-yawn, a clear sign of his struggles. When Manpreet inquired, John simply explained his difficulty sleeping. Ever the professional, Manpreet suggested they have a proper chat at lunchtime. As she called Vanessa Woodfield in to be seen, Vanessa paused, a grateful smile on her face. She thanked John for all the support he'd shown Tracy during this incredibly difficult time. Oh, the irony. John, the very person responsible for Tracy's predicament, was now being lauded for his support. It's enough to make your stomach churn. Lunchtime confessions and lies, the anonymous helpline. During their lunchtime catch-up, Manpreet, with her keen diagnostic skills, delved deeper. She asked John if helping Tracy was the reason for his sleepless nights. John, ever the good soldier, explained that part of his job was to help people who were suffering, like Tracy. But Manpreet wasn't buying it. "We're not therapists, John," she gently reminded him. She then offered some practical advice: try some pillow spray for his sleep. And then the crucial moment, she asked him to pass on a leaflet to Tracy about an anonymous helpline. Manpreet genuinely believed it would help Tracy cope with her harrowing situation. Little did she know, that leaflet was about to become John's lifeline. A desperate call, the truth he can't speak. Back home, in a moment of raw desperation, John did the unthinkable. He called the anonymous helpline for himself. His voice, tinged with a desperation he couldn't hide, explained he was feeling overwhelmed and plagued by nightmares. When the call operator, a calm and soothing voice on the other end, asked him to explain his nightmares, viewers were plunged into John's tortured mind. Flashbacks, raw and vivid, showed us the horrific moments. John accidentally killing Nate, the sheer terror, and the chilling act of disposing of the body in the cold, dark lake. But when it came to speaking the truth, John's fear took over. He lied. He described a different nightmare, one of being trapped in rooms, a classic anxiety dream as the operator calmly defined it. The sound of the operator's keyboard tapping sent a jolt of panic through John. He was making notes. The realization that his desperate confession was being recorded, however anonymously, was too much. He abruptly ended the call, his heart pounding in his chest. Aaron's secret, a meeting and a lie. In a hurried attempt to hide the incriminating leaflet, John stumbled upon a note in Aaron's familiar handwriting. It mentioned a meeting the next morning. Just then, Aaron walked in, and John quickly stuffed the leaflet out of sight, his mind now buzzing with curiosity about Aaron's mysterious meeting. Trying to gauge the situation, John suggested they spend tomorrow morning together, but Aaron, looking unusually evasive, replied that he had an important client meeting he couldn't get out of. Viewers, however, knew the truth. Earlier in the episode, we'd seen Aaron make a hushed phone call to the prison, arranging a visit to see his ex-husband, Robert Sugden. The pieces are falling into place, aren't they? The looming storm, what lies ahead? So here we are on the precipice of another Emmerdale storm. Will Aaron's lie about seeing Robert catch up with him? More importantly, will John's unbearable guilt finally break him? The pressure is mounting, the secrets are festering, and the truth, as it always does in Emmerdale, is bound to explode. What do you think will happen next? Will John confess, or will his torment drive him to an even darker place? Share your predictions.